Creatives, people with a message, however you want to identify, I have a question for you. What is passion? What do you think passion is? Sam, my buddy Sam. Hi, Sam. Everyone say hi, Sam. Sam, what
Hey,
do you
what's
think
going
passion
on,
is?
guys? I just told him, I'm like, just follow that passion. So he goes, well, actually, what do you think the definition of passion is? I'm like, I'm not gonna go there. You tell me what.
He saw the trap. He's not walking into it. This is my second time trying to get him to walk into a trap. Okay,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
So here's the way most people define it, and I find that this is actually even if they aren't consciously defining it this way, unconsciously, almost every creative person I've met starts with this definition, which is that passion is what makes me most excited, right?
Mm,
Passion is what is pleasurable to do. Now, part of the problem there is that passion is also taken on other meanings over time. If we're talking about like intimacy, right? Passion in that sense, then yes, those meanings apply. The problem is that those are newer, more recent definitions of passion. If you go back to the original definition of passion, it comes from the same Latin root as to suffer. So really, if you want to get back to the true meaning of passion, and by the way, a really good example of this, there's a reason why it's called the Passion of the Christ. Christ wasn't having the most fun time up on the cross.
mm,
He wasn't up there excited, right? It didn't make him feel good.
yeah.
It's what he was suffering for. So the true definition of passion is what are you willing to suffer for? What are you willing to endure pain for? That's passion.
I love that.
And the reason why I wanted to pop up into a video about it is that Sam and I were just talking about, well, basically the group I'm about to launch, which is going to be Bring Out the Heart of Your Book. And the thing about that is that, like, one of the fundamental things you have to understand is this definition of passion. Because if you come into creative work with the idea that I am seeking pleasure, I am seeking what is exciting, I'm seeking what's fun, yes, you will find those things. And yes, those are absolutely part of the process. I love those things too. They're great. But you will stop well before you get to the heart of your message.
Mm,
Because the heart of your message comes in when it is painful. When you are ready to endure pain, even just willing. You may not actually have to endure the pain, or it may not be. In fact, usually the pain's not nearly as bad as you think it's going to be. But you have to be willing to endure it. That's passion. That's real passion. The willingness to endure pain on behalf of fill in the blank. That's your real message.
mm. I love that. I love that. I love that. I often say like your mess becomes your message,
Yes.
right? And so,
Yeah.
like, understanding that, it makes total sense. The definition of passion, the way you're using that, like,
Right.
I like it a lot, and it's true. I think oftentimes, like, even in any endeavor that we go through, and let's just say it in our adult lives, well, we're trying to create what it is that we want to create, for whatever reason it is. I think oftentimes we get caught up in the excitement of it, which is a beautiful thing. The excitement is great, but not necessarily understanding that there's going to be some hurdles and obstacles that we are going to have to overcome. And once we approach those, and it's not that it's a bad or a good thing. It's a part of the process. And if we have that understanding, then we can fully embrace it with passion because we
Right.
know, like, yeah, this is happening. Yeah, well, something's gonna happen, big or small. It's gonna happen. It's regardless. This is a part of the creation process. But if we have that passion, we will endure it, and we will have the resilience to see it to the finish line, right? And then get to the heart of the book. In this case, because that's what we were talking about. Like your natural gift is assisting with pulling out and cultivating an environment where the person who wants to bring forth this message, this creation, this book, the heart of it. Because you and I both know there's plenty of books out there that you read and you're like, this shit sucks. There's no, yeah, there's no sustenance to it. There's no heart.
Mhm.
But when there's
Yeah.
a book that has a heart right from the fucking beginning of that
Yeah.
book, You read it and you're like, ooh, I gotta read the rest of this book, right? Because there's heart in that book, right?
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that group that you're launching, bro. It's gonna
Yeah.
be amazing.
Yeah. Or even a book that's all head. That's something I find a lot too, is like, it's like, oh man, there is something here. It's interesting,
Yeah,
but it's not much more than that, right? It's kind of like, okay, cool. But what else? Right? Why do I
yeah,
have to ignore everything else and like why should I get lost in these pages? That comes down
yeah.
to passion.
That's very interesting that you say that, right? Because I was sharing before the video that I've been wanting to write a book for a very long time. Like it's not even a want. It's like a deep yearning, desire, and calling. And I think that that was the problem. I was so stuck in my head, right? And so when I would get down and I start taking notes and stuff and like putting it together, it didn't feel it didn't feel. I was only in here thinking like I have to do this way to write this book,
Yep.
right? But throughout this process, we've definitely been. You know how many times I've cried already on these calls? Right, so there's
Yep.
definitely a lot of heart in it, right? Because it like the diving deep into these things, and I think that that's your gift, brother. Like you, that not only are you gifted with words and bringing it together so it's structured well like a book, um but bringing that out, right? Because I think that you bring your heart to the space as well,
Yeah.
and that's felt, right? And I
Mhm.
feel like there's a lot of people out there that has a book inside of them, right? That they know that they're here to share that book. They know for a
Yeah.
fact. Some multiple books, right? But they just don't know where to get started. Because when they get started, I think they get caught up in the head,
Yeah.
right? And like being a part of this community that you're creating, like the bring out the heart of the book, like that right there. I think you're cultivating an atmosphere, an ecosystem that people can now feel that and drop down from the headspace into the heart and actually create that book that that they know that they're here to create. You know.
Right. Yeah, because and that's the thing. You do need the head for this process, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
and that's why people come to it with their head.
Mm-hmm.
But part of the passion is there to like let the passion, the heart, be the organizing principle. You're not going to organize it and you're not going to create that here. Here is how you're going to organize it so that like you build the structure that carries it out into the world, into the future even. Like when I'm working on it, even with this book with Sam, I almost see it as like we're building a rocket ship, right? Like we're building a rocket ship into the future that contains what Sam has to say. It's not even just about the people that are going to read it now. That's how important this is.
Mm.
And that level of importance, knowing that it matters that much, that comes from the heart. So yeah, stay tuned. I mean, it might even be under this video by the time that this goes up. But yeah, if not then, very soon you'll have a link to that community. And I hope you guys join. And I'll see you then.
Awesome. Peace.
See ya.